This life can be so confusing, and this life can be extremely merciless. I always look around and wonder, how did I end up here? Is this really the creation of some loving, caring God? Or is this a hell realm and I'm being punished just for existing? Think about the word pay. Pay. You have to pay for your food. You have to pay for your water. You have to pay for your house. You have to pay for your light bill. You have to pay for your gas. You have to pay for everything. You practically have to pay for breathing. So why do I have to pay when it wasn't my choice to even be brought into existence in the first place? Why do I have to pay for something where I'm not responsible for the fomentation and foundation of this nation, or of this evil vampiric structure? I had no say so in the way this world was designed. I had no say so in the way this earth was created. No one told me anything. I just opened my eyes and bada bang, bada boom, I was here. And if I had another life or previous lives, it was all mine, right from me, from the soul trap, harvesting, right? So I think whoever made this realm for real, whoever really created this world, they really have it out for us humans. And I say us humans because I really believe that this world is not ran by regular people. I believe there are reptilian shapeshifters who are in high positions of power. And it's not just the reptilians. There's other types of evil beings, the archons, the outside of our frame of reference, the outside of what we can see. And they're able to control our lives and manipulate us in subtle ways, in very weird, type of events and situations that it places us in life. It's not good that we live a life of isolation and desolation. We all need somebody in our life. We all need to have a girl in our life. We need to have a woman in our life. We need to have something in our life. I don't understand. What if my mind works differently than the average Joe? What if I'm meant to write songs for a living? What if I'm meant to do something creative and innovative, but I can't because this world doesn't reward people with an actual soul, with actual persistence, with actual spiritual analyzation of the times that we're facing. Like, the world doesn't reward people who critically think. The world only rewards people who just follow and just be a drone and just be a clone. The world doesn't reward people who actually can think and use their minds. How is that a good thing? How is it a good thing where you always got to behave like some robot? You always got to behave like somebody that's always trapped. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. The only thing that makes sense to me is that this world was created to just put you through misery. I'm tired of it. And it's not what makes it even worse is not everybody's going through this. There's some kids right now who are 21 years old. They just bought their first penthouse. They've made $250,000 in a year. Hell, some of them in a month, they know what they're doing with this online hustle culture. That I was talking to this one person emailed me like on my last channel. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but I was talking to him a while ago, maybe like a year ago now. And this one I had my other channel, and he was just telling me how he was able to just use the Bitcoin and all that, and buy this and buy this and do. I'm like, how the hell? Like, I don't know how to even get into that. I don't know how to even log into there. How the hell do you know how to do all that? Like, who's teaching these classes? Who's teaching who's teaching about digital assets and digital monetization? Who's teaching shit like that? Because I don't know anything about it, really. Like, how you could actually earn. You can earn online. Like, you can somehow. I don't know how they do it. Whether it's selling beats, whether it's selling people a course, which I think most courses are scams, really, because nobody's really going to teach you how to get rich for real. Because then now like, it'll be competition. You know how people are. People are mostly selfish and narcissistic and evil, taking on the same attributes as the God who created this world. So people ain't gonna really tell you how to really, 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 really get it. They're gonna tell you a little bit, but they're gonna tell you every little thing, right? They'll teach you like how to hunt basically, and may give you a little rifle. You got to buy a rifle or something like that. But when you go into that jungle and you look for that tiger and you look for that deer or you look for that wild game, it's up to you to find the area and to trace it and track it. So it's the same thing as when you try to make money, in a way that's not the traditional 9 to 5. Because let's be honest, a lot of our stress and a lot of our problems comes from the 9 to 5, bro. Think about it. Right now, I guarantee one of your major stressors in life is lack of money. How do I know that? Because the system's designed to keep you with a lack of money. Even if you made $100,000, you got to pay $100,000 worth of taxes now. Even if you made $250,000, $350,000. You make $500,000 in taxes. You make $1,000,000 in taxes, and now you're going to be taxed at a higher tax bracket. You know, so it's like something's always keeping you from reaching your fullest and truest potential, and that's what makes it annoying, and that's what makes it makes it brutal. Something is always trying to attack you. Something is always trying to make you feel low, and I don't like that. I don't like this feeling where right now in life, my birthday just passed or whatever, and I don't feel any different, bro. I feel just even more old, even more cynical, and I feel like I just need to just be more real and more raw. But then you have to talk within YouTube's rules, regulations, and guidelines. So it's like, damn, you kind of feel like a dog on a leash at times. I really want to explode and let my true anger out, let my true feelings out, like how I did when I was the Black Pill villain. Y'all know how raw and authentic I was. Maybe to my own detriment, since it attracted the wrong crowd. So I'm just going to maintain my composure and speak comfortably, because maybe that'll get a lot of these people that are on my private parts to just leave me alone forever. They can just go and find somebody else to mess with, because they're already messing my life by doxing and doing all type of crap. Best believe that, that's how I'll leave it at that. So I don't know, bro. I just feel like in this point in my life, man, or in all of our lives, let me talk abstract. In all of our lives, I feel like we're all going through something, and we feel empty inside. We don't feel alive. We don't feel like we're able to thrive. We don't feel like we're able to survive, because this world is just it's not conducive to your growth. I want to be able to make music. I want to be able to make beats. I want to be able to get paid doing what I love for a living. So why can't I do that? Why do I always have to go to a place where I don't want to be, around people who don't want me there? They look at my skin color configuration and automatically judge me. That's a major... What Savvy Guy was talking about, like when it comes to brothers, is so right, bro. That's another added layer of stress. Why would a God do that? Why would a God make us differently visually, knowing that it's going to create constant problems? Why would a God do that? Why? Why would you create this many different types of people with different types of colors, with different types of heights and different types of this, knowing that we'll never get along, we'll never get together, we'll never become one? Humans are tribal by nature, right? Meaning that even amongst the same, how can I say this carefully? Amongst the same racial demographics, there's different types of racial ethnicities. For example, you have Europe, you have the British, you have the French, you have the Germans, those are different types of people, different types of languages. Even though they share a common blood and common ancestry, they still have their own customs that make them a unique, specialized people, right? And every demographic has that. You have your main demographic, your skin color configuration. Then you have your groups that people are tied into. And if a being knows this, even in nature, you can watch wasps and you can watch bees fight it out. They'll duke it out. They'll battle each other. You can watch flies and not flies. You can watch bees and wasps. They can go at it. And hell, you can watch even flies, though. Even that, I might as well mention that. You can, a frog will eat a fly. And it's like, what the hell? It's like it's nothing sacred. I understand it's a fly, but it's like everything, it's designed to get devoured. Everything's designed to feel pain. Why do we have pain receptors if this God's ultimate goal is to make us happy? I don't want to hear about no purification, because that means this God's not perfect. If you can't create a perfect design the first time, and everything you created is a mistake, then what does that say? Are we really the bad guys in this situation? Are we really the bad guys? Really? Are we? And when you get older, man, and you don't have no real economic foundation, what's really the point? There's people that I talk to that are like 22 years old, and they tell me, what's the point of even trying to fit into society and even keep going on? And honestly, even at my old age, I can't give them no advice, because the advice the only advice I can give, you can't say on YouTube, right? And it sucks that that's even considered an option or a viability to some people. But you never know what somebody's going through. You never know what somebody's really going through internally. You never know what somebody's going through in their mind. I think I have that probably. People, I think I'm so stoic and I never cause any problems. Is people think I can just handle anything. They don't sit back and really think that this guy was, he was a NEET for a decade, you know, and going through all type of psychological issues. And I was hoping and waiting on God to bless me. I was waiting on the God of the Bible to bless me. Okay, he sees me rapping. He knows I'm good. He knows I can help my family out. He's going to help me. He's going to help me. Put me around next to Taz Taylor. Put me next to Cash Money AP. Put me next to Nick Mara. They're going to hear me rap and they're going to help me and they're going to, you know what I mean? I'm going to be in a position to win. That never happened and never will. So, but I was taught, everybody around me taught me, just have faith in the Lord, have faith in this and have faith in God and blah, 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 blah. So I believed it and I never got nothing. I believed it and never achieved it. I believed it and never received it because this world is not found on that. Now, there's certain people that can pray to this entity and they'll get whatever they want, when they want, how they want, because this God has favorites. He favors certain people. And if you're a person that's in this position, you're obviously not favored. This God obviously favors beautiful people. He favors attractive people. If you read the Bible about King David, he was like a Chad or Tyrone or whatever. He was somebody in a position that had a lot of women. Then you read his son, King Solomon. These are men that had thousands of wives and thousands of concubines, and they had all the riches of the earth. They had everything you can never imagine. Entire palaces, armies, gold, wealth, respect, command, position. They had everything that you can dream of. And yet these men, at the end of it, they still committed sins and wicked acts. Can you imagine King David or King Solomon in our position? These are men that are used to getting whatever they wanted, how they wanted. They're used to just praying to their demiurge and he gives them what he wants because he controls the materialistic world. Is this God a God? Yes, he is a God. He does have power over our lives, supreme power, in fact, over our lives. But it doesn't make him the origin of divinity. This being or whatever it is, because you got to think, if there's no such thing as the supernatural world, what is the elites doing, worshiping and doing all their rituals behind closed doors? Who are they doing it to? Or it's just nothing? No one's going to do a ritual without getting some type of residual. They do, they're not going to do a ritual if nothing happens. And this has been going on for thousands of years. So obviously, if humans are doing the same thing for thousands of years, there's something behind the scenes that the public doesn't know that actually works. Ever heard of the skulls and bones? Probably haven't. Look up Yale University. There's obviously something going on that they're not telling the average person. And that's a big red flag right there. What are they hiding in the Vatican libraries? Why are all these underground tunnels that have these secret little underground cities? What's up with that? What's up with these submarines that are going 50,000 feet in these classified depths? They tell you that, we're going to go so deep, but they got classified submarines they'll never show you or tell you, and they're not even nuclear powered. They're powered by something else that's classified, a classified hidden energy source that they never tell you about. Some type of hidden free energy tech that they'll never tell you about that they get to utilize and integrate, but then they don't want you utilizing and integrating it as well because they don't want you to be free. They want you to always be a servant. Remember he said, I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers. I want you to work and not think. You're going to work so we can get that loose energy from you. But if you start to think, then that's when you become a problem. And that's how it is when you live in a totalitarian society. A society that's hell-bent on your destruction, that's hell-bent on you failing, that's hell-bent on you being destroyed. This society is not conducive for our mental health. And if you're a male in this society, you're pretty much, you don't got, people don't have your back, man. I'm by myself in this world. I don't have anyone. And I got people attacking me. Random people I don't even know online. Random people who I don't know, who sit there and make whole lore about me. These people don't fucking know me. These people don't know me. These people don't ever talk to me. They never sat down in a conversation with me. They watch a few of my videos and I probably triggered them because I said some real stuff. I don't hold back. I say real stuff. And when I say real stuff, it hits them. So it lets me know these guys were pretending to be black pillars and they were really blue pilled. And I said something about the thoughts and the bops. Then it hurt their feelings and then they had a hard on for me ever since. This is the crap I'm talking about that you have to deal with when you're somebody in this position. People always try to pick on you and attack you. And then there's people in real life. It's like, I don't bother nobody. I sit in my room and mind my business, and that still makes people mad. At least when I was NEET, And even when you get around like people that are not even your family members, and like let's say you have like roommates or something like that. Or let's say you move, to like you go to like one of your brother's, friend's house. You know what I mean? Maybe his dad has an extra cabin in the woods for you, and you're in the cabin minding your business. Eventually, they're gonna come out and be like, "Hey, man, we don't see you outside your cabin. What are you doing in there all day?" And it's like, bro, I got my food, I got this, I got that. It's like, why do you care what I'm doing all day? Why don't you worry about yourself? You have way more problems than I do. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about what I'm doing. You know, I remember when I got kicked out, and I was at my how do I say this without okay, how do I say this by staying in YouTube's guidelines? When I was at a family member who doesn't like me and I don't like them, but I never did nothing to them. They've always, harassed me and talked about me for all these years. When I was around, their area, pretty much, they would call my mom and be like, "Oh yeah, he's not doing nothing all day, and oh, when is he gonna get a job? And make sure when he leaves, make sure it's on time." Like all this little passive never came to me directly and said anything, but always went to my mom and played like little light tricks, like try to flash the light at me. I'm trying to sleep. He try to do like come out, like he try to park his car in this direction. But if I'm outside sitting on the patio or if I'm inside, he will change the way he parks his car just to see me. He'll come on his phone talking crap about me with his friend, who's really his significant other. Hey, that's the best way I can put it, right? Okay, that should be within the regulations, right? I'm not going off the way I really want to go off, yeah, because I'm not trying to give, trolls, anybody, any type of ammunition. I'm not trying to, because these people feed off your negativity. So I'm staying, neutral. But just understand that this world's gonna have to put you around people who are trying their best to break you, who are trying their best to they're trying their best to just make you fall. They're not they don't want to see you succeed. Honestly, this world doesn't want people that are successful. This world wants people that are stressful, that are stressed and trapped and depressed. They don't want you successful. They want you stressful. Honestly, and that's one of the things you have to take in consideration. Why does it take so long for somebody to try to build up a YouTube channel from scratch, right? You know how long it is and how hard it is to build up a YouTube channel, to get one person to watch your video, to get one person to like your video, to get one person to comment on your video. Just one person. I'm not even saying two, I'm just saying one. One person to comment on your video. You know how hard it is, right? It's not easy to keep people's attention. It's not easy to be like you guys could be watching or doing anything else right now, but you're tuning into this video. That means that I'm of some importance, to like you're allowing me to come into your life and talk to you for a good 20, 25 minutes, because I like to use this as stress to get my feelings out, right? That means something to me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate all you guys that watch my videos. You guys, support me, by liking, commenting, and all that. I appreciate that, but at the end of the day, I need a woman. I need, that goodness, that gushiness. I need what's between a woman's private area, because that's what makes me really happy. And when you've been isolated for such a long time, it's really hard to come back from that, bro. Like when you've been a certain way, it's hard to change it's hard to change like your mindset and to change like quote unquote who you are when you've been a certain person your whole entire life, when you never really had it like that. You never really had the women, you never had the girls, you never had the cars, you never had the success, you never went to college, went to the college parties and, seen all the pretty girls go crazy. You seen people having, sexual encounters and sexual alleviation in front of people, in the bathrooms, behind behind the mansion power parlor, what I mean, underneath the stairs, they're getting it on everywhere and they don't care. Imagine being a man in the prime of your youth and you never get to experience that. You're always going to have those thoughts and feelings inside of you like, damn, there's men out there that are experiencing sexual alleviation with a beautiful creation, with a girl that's absolutely fascinating. She has a cute face, cute butt, cute smile. She cleans her behind. She's clean. She knows how to wipe herself and clean herself. There's no nasty stuff like leaving blood on the stool or leaving crap in the toilet. Like she knows how to clean her butt and make it pristine and clean. It's none of that nastiness. She's a clean female and she's smart. She's sexy. You can have real conversations with her that are deep on a spiritual and an intellectual level, and sometimes her thoughts may even challenge your thoughts from time to time. Like that creates spiritual growth and development, like almost like your soulmate. Even though I don't believe in soulmates, I believe that the demiurge gives you who he wants to give you, and I believe certain people, like I believe that there's a hidden spiritual list, and the higher threat tier you're on that list, the harder and more hellish your life is going to be. So somebody like me who speaks from the heart, who speaks truth, who speaks clarity, that's a rarity in society. You know, that's a rarity. People just speaking their mind with unfiltered. I mean, you can tell you can tell my channel's raw. You can look at the video game footage. You can hear what I'm talking about. You can tell this is no act for what. I don't ever want to act like this. Well, I want to get rich and be a rich famous rapper and live like a millionaire. That's why I'll do that. If the devil, somebody came up to me and said, "Bow to me, kiss my toes," or just bow to me, and I'll give you all your rap dreams. You can have all the girls, all the mansions, Ferraris, Bentleys, Lamborghinis, and all that. I'll do it in a heartbeat. I wouldn't think twice. I would drop to my knees. You know what I mean? Bow my head and prostrate myself in order to become a rich multi-millionaire. I don't care how pathetic that sounds. Because what's more pathetic? Being a guy who's middle-aged with nothing, not even a driver's license, nobody trying to help you out, or being somebody who's middle-aged is making millions of dollars doing what they love for a living. Yeah, you may have to go through some humiliation ritual, but the humiliation ritual, how long does it last? Look at everybody who's been through a humiliation ritual that's famous. None of them get attacked. None of them get destroyed, right? All these, so it's only certain celebrities they really come after. No one's coming after the president of the United States. It doesn't matter how many files he's in. It doesn't matter if they have video evidence. They're not going to target him because the elites don't want him to be targeted. He's playing his role, causing chaos and causing misery and causing pain and raising inflation and all that. That's the purpose why presidents are put into power. They tell you that you vote. You don't vote for anything. If voting worked, they wouldn't allow you to do it. The only thing you're allowed to do is wake up and go to your job every day. That's what you're allowed to do. And then buy the predetermined food that they have for you. Buy your Doritos, buy your slop, buy your hamburger meat, buy your chicken, buy your ham, buy your French fries, buy your ice cream, your pumpkin pies, your cheesecake. Buy that because they own all the companies that you buy that from. So go ahead and go to the 9 to 5, make the bread. That's really their money because they take it from you from taxes. Then they give it back to you in a paycheck. So you transform your time into money. And then with that money, you use it to buy things for your life to make your life better. When in the end, you're just going to pass away anyway. So this world is it's like taking some sand and putting the sand inside like a bottom, inside of a bag with no bottom. So every time you pour the sand in, the sand just falls out anyway. So it doesn't matter what you do. You can't get eternal life, at least in this dimension. And I don't know why would you want eternal life in this dimension anyway. You want to feel pain and agony and misery. But I get why people say they want eternal life. Well, it's not the life they want. It's the happiness you get when you don't have to be somebody's servant. Why in my soul, in my heart of hearts, I feel like I should be where Kendrick Lamar is right now. I truly believe that. I should be where Kendrick Lamar is at. Look at me, the Black Pill villain or Axion Portal. Just call me Axion Portal. Look at me as Kendrick Lamar if he never had any help and if he never made it and he became a black pillar and started making content on YouTube. Because, look at me as somebody like that. Because that's how I look at myself. A failed Kendrick Lamar. Somebody that can really rap, that can really spit, that can really, really, really go hard, but never had the chance or the opportunities to make it. So now I'm trapped in this abyss. And there's nobody that really wants to help a guy who's not really popping. Like when you don't have any momentum, no one cares about you, bro. Like when I first started my old channels, bro, when I had little subscribers, nobody was trolling me. Nobody was doing it. They didn't care. I didn't have any. Like if I got 2 views, those people would never troll me and went that hard and try to attack me. Why would they? It's a waste of time. But it's because I was getting views and getting attention and getting momentum. Then it's like, oh, this is somebody that's on their rise. Let's try to break this and shut this down, right? And that shows you how powerful that I could be if I had the right type of system behind me. Can you imagine if I had millions of dollars behind me? But the problem is, just like YouTube, you have to follow certain guides and regulations. Imagine if I had millions of dollars and I could say what I want. I can really target the people that, let's say a painter in the early 1900s was pretty much right. People like to talk about that painter. Oh, this painter from Austria, he's a crazy guy. He's filled with all this anger. And like, bro, if you listen to what he was saying, he's trying to protect his people. He's trying to protect his culture. He's trying to do what's right for his people, right? He's trying to do it right. He's trying to do what's right. And if you look at the people that his fangs were pointed at, you will see that there are legitimate reasons. There are certain people that control banking systems. They control Hollywood. They control all of the evil innuendos. You know, they control all of it. They control all the companies. All the major video game companies are controlled by the same people. Microsoft, they always put some new female in Microsoft. You know, they got a new, and I'm thinking she has no power. She probably just did something explicit to get that position and did some magic rituals behind the scene that you don't know about. And she becomes the CEO of Xbox or Microsoft, whatever it is, you know, whatever. They're all controlled by the same Chico owners anyway. Same with Sony, the same with Nintendo. All that's control. You gotta think about it. When you're playing video games, and I love video games, right? Your mind is focused in the video game. And in a way, that's a form of loose harvesting as well. When you have your mind inside of a video game, instead of having your mind on the inside of your soul and how to escape, you know, what happens after you leave this earth. Your whole focus should be thinking about what's going to happen when I take my last breath. Am I going to run into a demon lord like an anime? If it's going to turn to a Dark Souls boss, am I going to fight like a shadow of myself and look just like me, act like me, but it's going to be a shadow pitch black form? I got to fight it to escape a portal. Am I going to get sucked inside of a pitch black wormhole that's going to take me to another dimension? Am I going to get sent directly to hell and start burning eternally and getting tortured and getting devoured by giant worms and giant snakes and monsters and giants and fire drakes? You know, what's going to happen, right? But the problem is, if you notice, this world has been on distracting you through video games, through entertainment. All of it's a distraction. All of it's cope. Why is our lives filled with so much cope? Why? Shouldn't we love this life that we're given? Shouldn't this life be a real gift? Why does it feel like life is not a gift, but it's a prison? Why does it feel that way? Why? You know? I don't know, bro, but I just know that this life is evil, wicked, and twisted and sadistic, bro. That's all I can really say.